it's Zara and I am back with lesson 6 of A Course in Miracles. So I am upset because I see something that is not there. The exercises with this idea are very similar to the preceding ones. Again, it is not necessary to name both the form of upset, for example anger, fear, worry, depression and so on, and the perceived source very specifically for any application of the idea. For example, I am angry at blank because I see something that is not there. I am worried about blank because I see something that is not there. Today's idea is useful for application to anything that seems to upset you and can profitably be used throughout the day for that purpose. However, the 3 or 4 practice periods which are required should be preceded by a minute or so of mind searching, as before, and the application of the idea to each upsetting thought uncovered in the search. Again, if you resist applying the idea to some upsetting thoughts more than to others, remind yourself of the 2 causations? The 2 cautions stated in the previous lessons. There are no small upsets. They are all equally disturbing to my peace of mind, and I cannot keep this form of upset and let the others go. For the purposes of these exercises, then, I will regard them all the same. Okay. So it says the 3 or 4 practice periods which are required should be preceded by a minute or so searching as before. Okay, I'm upset because I see something that is not there. That makes sense. That follows on from what was said before. So I am upset at anything that seems to upset you. So something that is upsetting me today is the fact that I have a sore stomach. I have some sort of irritable bowel disease, I think, because I've been to the doctors and we've done tests and we know that it's not IBS. I thought it was diverticulitis. We're not sure what it is. Anyway, there is pain there, and it does kind of bring me down because I feel like I'm gonna always have it in some way or another. Last night I was up for 4 or 5 hours with the pain, so then I miss uni the next day because of the pain. So can I apply that to this? I am upset because I see something that is not there. I guess how I could apply that is that I'm upset because I think I'm always going to have this. And that is an assumption that is not true. It's not there. It's not real. So I could apply that in that way. What else am I upset about? I'm quite upset with university life. But again, that's my perception of what it is, which is making me feel that way, which again is not there. So is there anything that can make you upset that actually is there? Well, starvation in the world, that's very upsetting. Child trafficking, all the horrible, horrible things that are happening in the world. I mean that this is a bit extreme, but then I guess the cause of that evilness is seeing something that's not there. So people are acting in that way out of fear, like we know that. And poverty brings a lot of fear, and then bad things happen. Does that kind of justify that? I'm upset because I see something that's not there, but I mean, the actions of the people that are seeing something that's not there is real. That is there. So, whew. So that's a difficult one. I am upset because I see something that is not there. Well, that... But again, it's just a confusion. It's them seeing something that's not there. But that doesn't take away the fact that it is there. Although, okay, there used to be times at night where I would think about the little girls in Yemen having arranged marriages at the age of 6 or 7, the many, many girls that would die on their wedding nights because they're too young for what they were doing. And that would really, really, really upset me, and sometimes I wouldn't sleep, and I don't know, sometimes you just feel the weight of the pain of others. And how do you justify that? How can you say, I'm upset because I see something that is not there? That's impossible. But then I've never seen it for my own two eyes. I've only read articles and I've only watched documentaries. I've never actually seen it for myself. So is there anything I've actually seen for myself that is really upsetting? Homelessness. That's really upsetting. And it's just bad circumstances. But then I guess what the point is, like, I'm upset because I see something that's not there. So, okay, it's not saying that the thing you think is upsetting you is not there. Maybe the point is what you're taking from it. So say I see a homeless person and I think, oh my god, it's so terrible. I mean, of course it is. That's my assumption. But then with this whole process, because there are so many evil things and really hurtful things going on, it has occurred to me that, I mean, people get through the craziest things that I can never imagine getting through. And maybe they do it because, I mean, in A Course in Miracles, it says things like, sin doesn't really matter, doesn't really exist. So all these bad things that happen, it's really hard because then you think of stuff like the concentration camps, and sin absolutely did exist, and there was a huge impact on the world from something like that happening. But then, okay, I'm upset because I see something that is not there. So the perceived source might not necessarily be what you think it is. So I'm upset for all these different reasons. I don't know, at this point in my life, I actually try not to think about those things, even though before I used to think that's just being ignorant and just, like, how can you go about living your life happily when there are people in poverty in other places in the world? But then my mental health started to suffer because of that. And it doesn't really help them for me to be in pain as well. And so I guess the cause of the pain, if people are inflicting pain, it's because they're in pain themselves, and that needs to be healed. So they're not really evil. They're not really evil, they're just in pain. Nobody is inherently evil. There are things people do that are their evil acts. I feel like I'm kind of not really grasping this, or I'm just going around in circles and just talking about irrelevant things. I think it's because I'm not upset right now. I need to think of something that is upsetting to me. And it did say to ponder for a while. A minute or so of mind searching, each upsetting thought uncovered in the search. And there are no small upsets. And maybe it's the word upset, because that's quite an intense word. I don't know, I'm feeling quite content right now. Just because sometimes you have to protect your peace of mind. I wouldn't say peace of mind actually, I'd say I wouldn't say I'm in peace, I'd just say I'm balanced. I think my cat's trying to get in, I can hear her. But yeah, I think we have a lot of assumed badness. Like we think something is bad, it's causing pain, and that's the reason why I'm upset. I don't actually think anything is inherently bad. Again, the word intrinsically bad. I think there are bad circumstances and situations that happen, and I guess we judge it as bad, and that upsets us. But what I'm trying to do, which is kind of a Buddhist philosophy, as well as A Course in Miracles, is just to not label anything good or bad, and just be accepting. If you accept everything, nothing's good or bad, and you just have to get through it, because things aren't desirable. There are parts of life that I don't enjoy. But I'm upset because I'm judging it for being a bad thing. And sometimes that's part of evolution. Trial and error, getting things wrong. So when we see these child marriages happening and a lot of pain is coming from that, it's humanity evolving, making mistakes and bettering itself. And it's just part of this journey that we're on as a species, and we do have to try and be better, obviously, and we are, and I think we're getting there. But I'm not upset for the reason I think I am. Is that what it is? Oh no, I'm upset because I see something that's not there. So what are we seeing when those things are happening? I think we just judge people as bad. And actually a really good example is Donald Trump. Because a lot of us liberal people, we will slam him. Just, I don't know, in a really nasty way sometimes, and I think it's it feels justified because he is such an... because his actions are upsetting, and his actions are painful and hurtful. He's doing things that are very hurtful. And we don't look at him with any compassion because of who he is, but he is misguided. And I was going to say that, oh, it's just my opinion that he's misguided, but I think he must be. Because when you're doing things that are hurtful, that are bad, that cause pain, then it is misguided. It's not necessarily bad, it's just misguided. So I'm upset because I see something that's not there. So we're upset at Donald Trump because we're seeing this evil person, but that's not really what's there. He's just misguided. He's evolving. Everyone evolves at a different pace. But then I hate saying that because I think, oh, the left is just so much more woke than the right and they'll get there eventually. That's not... But then, is that what it is? Well, not necessarily. There are criticisms of the left, just like I was saying, when people are not compassionate, when people are very disrespectful, and really harsh. So, yeah, they're not perfect either. They are misguided in their own way. Their actions are misguided, maybe not their thought process. So yeah, I guess I'm upset. If we're upset, it's because something is not wrong. It's not bad, it's just misguided. If you see it as misguided, maybe you'd have compassion for it rather than slamming it like we do. So I guess I could apply that to every situation. I'm upset because I see something that's not there. Because I'm seeing negativity when really it's just finding its way. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.